What's up, everybody?
Hello and happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
World.
It's a Monday, so it's an episode of We're Not Wrestlers here on the Knotfest YouTube. Hooray! How y'all doing?
We have a very special guest today, Jordan.
We sure do. From the Rock and Roll Beer Guy podcast, and also the Comedy Store Wrestling pod. Eddie, you have too many podcasts.
I do. I have too many.
You got to talk about the Comedy Store Wrestling podcast and also Comedy Store Wrestling. What?
What does that entail? Are you wrestling people and making fun of them at the same time? Or?
Yes, I'm putting people in chokeholds. No, I'm kidding.
During your a literal tight five.
Tight five. I hang out with Josh Barnett too much, so I always try and choke people out. It's weird.
Is he a guest or is he a host?
He's a guest. So he was the guest on episode 1 of the show. Episode 2 is actually recording tomorrow with Rocky Romero.
Oh, my man.
Oh, icon.
I love Rocky.
He's a legend of the sport. Hardest working man to business. People don't even know that. Behind the scenes, that dude is just busting his ass, flying everywhere all the time.
Also a confirmed real hardcore fan. So we love
True.
Yeah, I saw him at the New Japan Strong show at the Vermont not too long ago, and he was wearing the God's Hate hoodie. So
he's basically my favorite wrestler now after that.
If you buy Colin's merch, he's your favorite guy.
It's truly all it takes. And I'm like, this guy should be world champion.
Hate shorts, right?
See, you should be world champion, Jordan.
Well, Rocky confirmed he also owns those shorts because I brought them up. I was like, I have the shorts. He's like, I have them too. So.
There's three world champions we're talking about.
My wife hates those shorts with a passion. She hates anything that has like a lot of colors and a lot of things going on. And I like buying stuff with a lot of things going on just to bother her a little bit.
They're a time and place pair of shorts for sure. My wife is definitely sick of the art too because it's look at this. I got a rug. With it on.
You have a rug with?
Oh, that's awesome. That is
awesome. So it's everywhere in this house. So
that's great.
Shorts, she can, at least you don't have that going on.
Right.
Yeah.
But thanks for buying our shorts.
Absolutely. I missed it the first round. I got real sad that I couldn't get. I was like, oh man.
Well, we just had no idea. It was like there was 100 pairs and it was 100 seconds.
Yeah.
Right. So tell us about the Comedy Central Wrestling, or I'm sorry,
Comedy Store
Wrestling.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I fucked up I spent 2 years every night at the Comedy Store doing shit. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry to the Comedy Store for fucking that up.
No, it's a lovely place, man. It's a magical place. I moved actually closer to it. That was the reason for my move. I was like, I need to be closer to the store.
Right.
If I'm going to be living in LA, I need to be doing stuff there and I need to be close to it because I used to live in Long Beach. Driving out there after a show, it was like an hour at 1 a.m. It was the worst.
Yeah, but it's no good.
There is a history there. People are, a lot of people like you, they were like, what is that? Why the Comedy Store? Why wrestling? So, Andy Kaufman's history there with wrestling goes back many, many years. But if we want to do something more recent, the Store Horsemen used to be a podcast there with Tony Hinchcliffe and Chris Burns and Johnny Scortis and Josh Martin and Matt Edgar. There's too many of them, but they're all homies, and they had a wrestling podcast there before, and it kind of just disintegrated through time. People moved. Tony moved to Texas. All kinds of things happened, but they were able to do a Storecade live event where they put a ring in the middle of the main room.
Man, they're on par with Knotfest in terms of the way you can work the name into things.
Oh yeah. Storecade was a great name.
Storecade is genius.
Yeah. So they put a wrestling ring in the middle of the main room. I was there to help them build it and everything. I helped bring out some of the talent, and I also helped translate for the Lucha Brothers who were on the card. We also had Darby Allin there, Luchasaurus. A lot of the AEW guys were there. And they had a live wrestling and comedy event. It was beautiful. And the Comedy Store loved it, and they were like, "Yeah, let's do this, monthly." And we're like, "No, maybe quarterly." And then eventually, the podcast kind of, like I said, it dissolved. Everybody went their separate ways, and there was this opening there. And I was going to the Comedy Store 2 times a week just to hang out and meet people and hang out with friends there. And I finally met the gentleman that's running the studio downstairs that they just completely revamped, remodeled. And I was like, "Hey, I would love to, maybe pick up where they left off, have a wrestling show downstairs." And he was like, "I've been wanting to do that. Let's do it." So
Wow, that's awesome.
Awesome, man.
kind of just worked out. And I brought in Josh Barnett. He's a good friend, as the first guest. And then, it's just been kind of going since then. Like now we got Rocky. We're talking to a bunch of other people to come in, and we want to have it so that we have a segment where we talk to a wrestler, but we also have a segment called The Outsiders, where we bring somebody, a comedian, either a paid regular or a door guy or girl that doesn't watch wrestling, and try to convince them to watch wrestling.
Just with words?
No, we show them clips.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We have clips and videos, and like we had Jet Ski Johnson. She was the first outsider, and she's a musician. She plays trumpet, and that's like part of her comedy. So we showed her the Symphony of Destruction match with with Braun and Shinsuke and Elias, and it was great. It was funny. Good times.
That's awesome. I had no idea it had such a deep history.
Lore.
There is this wrestling lore with the Comedy Store.
Yeah, Andy Kaufman, years and years ago, he was the one person to bring it to the store first. So.
Wow.
Yep.
And that's a legendary saga in its own.
In its own right. But listen, we got a lot to get into.
Big week, huh?
It's always there's too much going on.
It never stops.
Like, how are we gonna talk? We got to get into it.
Wait, did something happen?
Should we start with the Saudi Arabia stuff and then kind of finish with Cody, because that's going to be a whole. Before we talk about the show, I wanted to bring up some metrics that I've got in front of me that just blew my ass apart. So as of this weekend, WWE has made $350 million from Saudi shows since 2018. Which you hear that and you're like, yeah, that's a lot of money. But I have some graphs here just to put that into perspective. The adjusted ticket sales from every WrestleMania, 1985 to 2021, $228 million. AEW's entire TV deal is $175 million. New Japan Pro Wrestling from August 2011 to June 2021 has made $302 million in total. And this is just from 7 shows in Saudi Arabia. You hear it? You're like, this is sick. These bastards are doing this. How could they do this? They're selling their soul. And then you see that and you're like,
how do you say no to those numbers?
Like, that's a business changing thing.
Yeah.
That's why Lita is like, I think like going like, well, they are doing some good over there. I'm like, it's just somehow enough money.
Yeah.
It's mostly that it's somehow enough money to make you change, to make you talk yourself into it.
Like, there's no way to morally spin it. And that's the thing is, if any of wrestler was like, my check is huge, so I'm just going to go do this, I'd be like, yeah, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I try to tell people this all the time because they're, AEW fans are great and I love AEW a lot. But, WWE is still making way more money than any of those companies.
It's not even comparable.
Yeah.
Well, I think, of course, WWE is making the most money like ever right now. Yeah. But it's also their entire, I will say their entire like system is so not sustainable. Like, they're making a lot of decisions that are gonna bite them in the ass later. Like, they're getting a lot of money right now, but my God, down the line.
But you can't just have Saudi Arabia left as your audience,
right? Yeah,
unless they start paying.
You can't have that, or
more.
you can't. I think like they're making those decisions that it's like yeah, get that money, but I don't know how, like I don't know, I literally don't know any person who's like excited to watch WrestleMania this year.
I'm
No.
excited. I'll watch
Okay, I
Roman
know
and
one person.
Brock and
But
see.
like that show, that match is this whole show is just for that.
That's all WWE is.
It's really
It's Roman and
just
Brock.
them. Like,
Hey,
and
That's what it's
look.
been since 2015 or
even
whatever.
the tag title match just didn't happen.
Oh yeah, that was funny as hell,
How
man.
long is that
Oh
flight?
boy. Thanks for coming all the way to Saudi Arabia, guys.
Dude, it was
Turn around and go
insane.
home.
I mean, and they were entering for a while, and I was like, damn, these guys get a long entrance, and then they're just dead. It was legit 2 full minutes of like,
God,
Crazy.
it's why, and then it just didn't happen.
Let's start at the beginning of the card.
All right,
Colin.
beginning of the
You watched
card.
it. You watched it. I didn't. You texted it. What happened? To
Yeah,
me.
I gave you a live play-by-play.
Yeah.
The opening match, skipping the pre-show, was Roman versus Goldberg. Open the show. Your boy Goldberg.
I
do
am a Goldberg stan. As a Jewish man, I don't have a choice.
It's genetic.
His name is Goldberg, and he's a strong Jew. He's the only one on TV.
You have a genetic obligation.
Yeah,
it's fine.
It's like going to Passover. You cheer Goldberg. You got to go to Passover,
etc.
etc.
This I really liked the ending of this. The choke out with the guillotine, just putting legit choking out Goldberg, to me was like, damn. Has that ever happened?
I don't think so.
I don't think he's ever had a pass out loss. Maybe to like Triple H or something, but like that rocked.
I heard people. I heard the response to this match was negative because of the beginning, and also even during the chokeout, whether it was an accident or not, Goldberg grabbed the rope.
I don't know if I saw that, but
Yeah, I don't remember seeing that, but
he 100%, like, that's the controversy, is they were like, he grabbed the rope.
oh my god,
He either fucked up or they booked him to
I didn't even see that, but
it's a biffed end.
it was a Goldberg match. You know, it was like he hit a
Spear.
spear. Now he hit a spear. He's gonna hit a jackhammer. He hit a spear. And during the guillotine, it looked like Roman had it like cinched in, which I like that. I'm a casual WWE guy at this point. It's really hard for me to tune in week to week, but I saw that and I was like, you know, the meme of Vince falling over in the chair.
Yeah. Oh,
The first panel where he's just like this.
yeah.
That's how I felt during that end.
That's as excited as I can get about WWE business this day. What do you think, though, Eddie? Were you into this?
I was into it. Look, I'm gonna preface this with saying that I hated Roman Reigns for many years. I completely missed the introduction of the Shield, and then when they were giving him that super push right before the leukemia, I couldn't stand him. In fact, and I've said this before, and I probably should stop saying it, but like I got sad when he came back from leukemia. I was like, man, no. But
God.
okay, but after that, when they paired him up with Heyman, it started like, oh, what's this?
I mean, there was just like this. It was this fundamental thing that people had wanted for so long, where it was like, clearly this guy has it. You're just not letting him do it.
Yeah, and it was a matter of putting all the pieces together. You had the Heyman thing and the Bloodline thing, which everybody has been wanting for a long time, and it worked magically for me. It worked. I love it. My wife hates wrestling. She doesn't hate it, but like she doesn't watch, and she bought me this shirt. So that goes to say how far they've come.
Look at how sexy he is. It's like,
come on.
My wife does the same thing. Whenever he shows up on TV, she goes, "That is a handsome man."
Yeah,
he's
the one.
He's the one.
He's the one.
He's doing great. I don't have a beef with Roman. I will say, like, it's really just that he's so goddamn beautiful. Like, what a perfect looking person. I don't think that I don't think that the gimmick could not be done by I think kind of anyone could do that gimmick, but the thing that's so powerful about him is he's beautiful. I think that the final tweaks they gotta make are they gotta figure out that weird CGI at the beginning.
Oh
They
God.
gotta
So bad.
they have to put him in wrestling trunks. Him wearing cop pants for no reason doesn't make any sense. Like he just it doesn't go with the whole head of the table. Like it doesn't go with his culture or anything. It looks weird, and the glove, I get it's for the punch, but it literally looks like he's trying to prevent carpal tunnel. Like
It is like a carpal. It's like he's
It
it looks
wrapping
like
it.
Melissa McCarthy in Bridesmaids. Like
plays a lot of World of Warcraft.
The 3D intro things.
They're all bad. There's not a single one that's good.
The Becky Lynch one to me is the worst one
it's a nightmare
right now because it's like this, and it's like supposed to be sick. Like you're supposed to be like, yes, it's Becky, and she's just
Yeah, no.
it's
Yeah.
not good.
But
They need to stop
final thought on that match is I'm glad it went the way it went. Like I loved the chokeout finish. Part of me, like a large percent of me, thought Goldberg was going to win.
That
Really?
would have been insane.
Because they did it to Bray, so I was like, they'll do it to Roman. Who cares?
Just to give you a WrestleMania angle.
Just to swerve it, because that's Vince's thing. He loves to swerve. So
And that's what the Bobby victory was all about. Because clearly oh my God. We gotta talk. We'll get there, but holy shit.
Yeah, match 2, fellas.
Okay, Women's Chamber was next.
You liked this, didn't you?
I
You were
had a
into
pretty
it.
good time.
We gotta talk like that Liv Morgan outfit. Unbelievable.
Oh,
Smart.
Lord.
She's a genius
Yeah.
for doing
Brittany?
For doing Brittany.
Yeah, that rocked. Rhea is just a star. She's amazing. Nikki Ash, I don't know what they're doing with her at this point. They should figure something else
Sad.
out.
Makes me sad.
Yeah. Doudrop should be a killer, man. She's got the vibe where they're like she's a killer, and then she
can't be a killer with a name like Doudrop.
I know, and then you get killed in the match, and you're like, oh, okay, so that's what they think of you.
Yep.
The right woman won in Bianca. That was great.
Sure, yeah.
She's a multi-time chamber winner now.
Did she win last time?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's that really
she's a multi-chamber champion.
She should have been the winner as she was.
Yeah.
But honestly, I kind of feel like why did we spend so much time building up Alexa to have her eat a pin on her comeback match?
She did. It's just the Saudi check. Like I can't rationalize this show and like the creative aspects of it other than like everybody's getting paid. Like that's why Brock lost was it Survivor Series? When was that?
Rumble?
Brock
the Rumble.
Yeah.
Literally,
That's why that happened. Just so that he would have his moment where he gets it back in Saudi Arabia, so that they can explode and everybody gets money and they're happy.
I think that they genuinely did not know what they were doing. I think Brock dropped the belt because the plan was to have Bobby Lashley have a singles match at WrestleMania, and then they were like, we don't know who against. And then Bobby hurt his shoulder, and they were like, which is why he was out of the chamber matches. He has a shoulder injury. So
that was fucking crazy.
So
I don't to this very moment understand what happened.
So they had to get him out of the match. He hasn't wrestled since he won the belt because he hurt he hurt his shoulder for real in the Brock match at the Rumble. Like he took the German suplexes terribly,
right?
And it fucked up his shoulder. So they were like, "Fuck it, unification match." Like we can't think of any other match for the WWE title, so whatever.
I just don't understand why they have such a problem being honest with people. Hey, Bobby got hurt at Rumble.
It's that simple.
Here's someone else. in the match.
It's really that.
Yeah,
serious.
he's just have him forfeit the title. Don't
Right.
fly him. He's injured. Why is he going? Because he wants the payday.
A guy getting injured is so terrible, but then like you get to have a tournament.
Yeah.
What is better than a tournament?
Vince hates tournaments.
I fucking love tournaments.
I love them too. The G1.
It's the best.
It takes a month to watch it.
And then the entire month, I'm like, can't wait to see what's going to happen next. Can't wait to see who's going to win this tournament. And it happens every year.
Yeah.
My favorite Rumble is the Rumble that the winner is the champion. I don't want there to be a match at Mania. Just get the belt after the 30 people. Like that, you deserve that belt and all of the other belts.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
That was great. I loved in Lucha Underground when they would just do that. When it was like, guess what? Our big thing is for the belt. The champion has to win to keep the belt.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun. It's always fun. I love fun. I love to have fun. You know.
I just want to have
Sue
fun.
me. You know.
Call the cops. I want to have fun.
So that was that. Next up was Ronda and Naomi versus Charlotte and Sonya Deville.
All right.
Wow. The one arm tied behind her back.
It was so ridiculous. But I would say Ronda looked better in this with the hand tied behind her back than in the Rumble.
Yeah. I would say she looked better with her like gi and like no makeup.
The gi was cool.
The gi was cool, but like she looked young. She looked like a little kid.
I kind of respect. I honestly the no makeup thing I really respect because of like how Saudi Arabia treats women. It just felt like a fuck you to me.
Here's the thing. Ronda looks fucking great, and also just in general, whenever she does makeup, it does not look great. So
the Black Swan thing,
dude, her like it just always looks not how it's supposed to look, and I don't know. She did like. I feel like Ronda Rousey wouldn't put on makeup to kick someone's ass, so it's weird when she does. You know,
that makes sense.
Did she ever wear makeup in UFC? Probably not.
I don't know, but man, she kicks ass when she wants to, and in this she did, even with a hand tied behind her back. And goddamn, Naomi is just too good, huh?
Naomi Naomi will never get like her time in the spotlight that she deserves because there's just too much other shit. Like, did you hear the planned before Ronda? The planned WrestleMania match was 4 horsewomen.
Oh right.
4-way. That was and then Ronda was like, "I'm coming back," and they were like, "Fuck that."
Yeah, never mind. That sounds awesome.
It would have been fucking awesome. But now we have to wait for that to happen. Like Naomi's never gonna. There's never gonna be a spot.
Well, she was champ for a while.
Yeah, and she won it in her hometown. But like
at Mania,
who's talking about that? You know,
they never talk about it.
I'm sure they talk about it at her Thanksgiving family dinners.
For sure, as they should.
You think that she would be like, "Hey, put my title win like at least like in it should be part of the storyline of Total Divas," and it wasn't. I watched Total Divas earlier, like in 2021, and I couldn't believe a season starts and it was just Naomi is the champion, and I was like, every season it's the woman who like who wins at Mania. It's a whole thing about her winning at Mania, but whatever.
And when the matches get cut at Mania, it's like a 3-episode arc where they're like, okay.
But Naomi wins in her hometown.
Yeah, and they don't even fucking
Mania, and they're like,
They
got engaged at that Mania, so I think they were like, "This is."
Oh yeah, that's big. Next up is Drew McIntyre versus Madcap Moss.
This was my pee break match.
He took the nastiest fucking bump I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, good and it's God. Straight on his head.
Dude, his neck was like it went inward.
Yeah, and there's no way they're like, "Oh, he's fine." No, he's not. He might be fine right now, but he's not going to be fine in a couple years.
No,
when he can't turn his head all the way.
No. It looked fucking sickening. Yeah. So I really hope he's okay. This was a Raw story grudge match.
I think it's important to note that Drew won while holding a sword. Like he did the Claymore while holding the sword.
While holding a Claymore, yeah.
Insane.
Yeah, he did that.
Poor guy.
So I guess it's Drew versus Happy Corbin at WrestleMania, huh?
How is that?
Happy Corbin.
Drew deserves better. He's
Ugh.
like he's a guy. He like in 2020 or whatever when he won the Rumble, I was like, he's the guy. He's the guy that Vince wants Roman to be. Honestly, he's bigger than Roman. They look the same almost for the most part. Like he has the little goatee and long wet hair. He's enormous, and he has charisma for days. And just you love to hear him talk.
I really do. Love to hear him talk.
They were like, we gotta give him a shtick, but the shtick sucks. I don't know. When people aren't into it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Poor guy.
This existed. It happened. It's over. But it's probably not.
It's not over.
It's never
over.
Yeah. So next up is Becky Lynch versus Lita for the Raw Women's Championship.
Everyone said that this was match of the night. That I read everything that I read.
I thought it was fine.
I think it went longer than I thought it was going to go. I thought it was going to be a quick, part timer type match, and
it was a match.
Yeah, it was a real match.
They did stuff. Lita got all her shit in, which was nice. She did it all. The Twist of Fate, moonsault, all that good stuff.
All that good stuff.
I think Becky rocks. I love the character. I think the person seems awesome. The Becky matches, I don't know if I'm into them.
I can see that. I think that she has I think the only problem is that it's just, I don't know, everyone's got a really sick moveset. Like everyone in the women's division has like the coolest moves I've ever seen in my life, and like Becky like does a leg drop.
Well, and especially like the three other women that she came up with.
Dude, like Sasha's moveset is incredible. Like Charlotte's
the GOAT. Bailey is like an amazing character all the time and can back it up. Has had the two best women's matches maybe ever.
Yeah.
Charlotte's got the Andrade moveset now. She upgraded.
Dude, Charlotte is God. Charlotte is so fucking good.
We are Charlotte stans.
It's true.
Like, we support her. Everyone hates her. She's the best though. Like, she's the best wrestler in the world.
It's true.
It's Okada and then it's Charlotte. That's like but I don't know. Like, dude, Seth has a crazy move. He has too many moves. I feel like
I can't. You can't, like, how do you
steal some of his shit? Like, it's not really. It's not total gimmick infringement because that guy does every single move I've ever seen in my life. Do the Falcon Arrow or whatever.
The thing is, she's kind of like the female John Cena right now in terms of like what she has. She's just doing what she's got to do, and it's like, this is working for me, so fuck it. So.
Yeah,
and that disarmer move is the worst.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, goodness.
It's just like, oh
no, I can't get out.
It's not a good. It's not a good finisher.
It's not for me, but I love the character. The person seems amazing.
She can get pulled. She can get, if she's in the ring with someone who has a sick ass moveset, you're gonna have a great time. Asuka, great matches with Becky. Charlotte, the series right at the beginning when like Becky was a heel, like the Evolution match, unbelievable, sick ass match. But
let's skip this tag team shenanigans and we
talked about it.
We're going to the chamber. It's chamber time. What a great big pile of shit, huh? Oh my god.
You were spicy about it.
I was chartreuse is how I was. I was incensed. I was just so confused because first it's like it starts off cool. It's like, all right, there's the guys that they picked are awesome. I loved Austin Theory taking selfies with everybody in the pods. Like Riddle just posing. I was like, all right, I'm having a great time. The Chamber is like one of my favorite match gimmicks of all time.
I think it's we've talked about this. I think it's number one cage match. I know that that's controversial, but I think it's the best one.
It's fucking awesome. Like, and the cage match sucks now because of the door shit. The door and the pinfall, get them out. Escape the cage. You gotta escape.
Yeah.
If you don't escape, it's not a cage match to me.
Right.
The Chamber, like I'm sure you also remember when the Chamber came out, right?
Eddie?
I remember. I don't remember the year exactly.
This is like the 20th anniversary of it. But
Mhm.
how exciting was that?
It was amazing. Yeah.
And the build up and everything was like they like showed the blueprints and stuff on Raw for like weeks. It blew my fucking mind as a child watching that. But holy shit, this stunk eggs.
I mean, I was kind of like whatever up until Brock decided to go off script, and then that's when
But
I got
even before that, with the when Michael Cole is just like Lashley is entering concussion protocol and will not be in the match from his pod.
yeah.
I like. Did I miss something?
No, yeah.
Did something happen inside the pod? Did he fall?
Well, he got they threw somebody at him.
Yeah,
Rollins threw
yeah,
Theory through the pod.
Threw a guy into the pod and he bonked his head into one of the poles.
That must have been when my DoorDash order came. But
oh yeah. No, yeah, they threw.
Holy shit!
He broke the plexi. Bobby fell back and supposedly hit the back of his head on the corner. It didn't really look very realistic. I thought honestly, what was going on as it was happening was that the plastic was cutting his leg because it was right on his leg, and he was kind of like pointing at his leg. So I'm like, ooh, maybe it cut his leg. But then they were like, nope, concussion protocol.
I thought it was real for a second.
Yeah, I was like, this has got to be a work. I immediately I thought it was a work, and then I read that the shoulder injury thing, but because it just didn't make sense. It wasn't that big of a hit when I saw it. I was like,
I didn't see the hit, so they didn't show it again either.
No,
like,
yeah.
This was poo poo.
I feel like they could have just. This is literally a tournament to just have. Yeah. They should have just had Bobby forfeit the title to get like an injury. I don't know why. Does WWE think like WWE has a problem? They think that like injuries equal weakness, but really all that happens is a guy leaves and then they come back and they're a bigger star than they were before. No one has come back.
Stone Cold was perpetually injured, and there's still never been another Stone Cold. You know?
Yeah. He's the most. He'll be the most popular wrestler forever.
Triple H is like his muscle tears if he farts, like, right. and he's still like he's in there every time.
Yeah,
right.
Lesnar enters by just kicking his plexiglass off, and kills Rollins and Riddle in under a minute.
Mm-hmm.
He just does his move.
And then they were gone, and then like took a second. And then killed Styles, and he was gone. And then took a second, and it was just him and Austin Theory. And then he killed Austin Theory, and that was it.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a great match. I was already checked out when Bobby went down. I was like, this is dumb because it didn't look real.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is bullshit. But then when Brock kicked, like, that's the other thing. They went to whose Chamber's gonna open it, and it's Bobby's, but he's not there anymore. And then they just kept going, and Brock's like, fuck this, and just kicked the pot open. I liked it when he said, fuck this, and kicked the pot open.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yes.
But like make me want to see him win.
Oh yeah, he just came out and destroyed everyone.
It was fucking miserable.
I feel like you can't like I don't know. It didn't work at the Rumble. I don't know why they thought it was gonna work again. Like like people like. I get that people like babyface Brock. I've only seen the Rumble, so that's it. That's the only thing I've seen him do.
Man of the
Um,
people.
But I like everyone in there. Does everyone not like everyone in there?
I don't. What, dude? What? What do you? I can't. I'm so shocked that they did that to Seth because it's like, dude, Seth like
Here's the thing.
has defeated. You spent a whole year having Seth defeat Brock Lesnar like clean. Like he's kicked out of the F5 and shit. Like what are you doing?
I think Seth comes out of this year as like the biggest babyface that they've had. Like legit
Really?
guy that yeah, I think so. The Roman match fucking rocked at the Rumble.
Yeah, it rocked.
And I feel like they have like unbeknownst to them created a sympathetic character to me that I want to root for now.
I mean, all he had to do when Seth was a babyface, like he was very popular. All he had to do was not be a bootlicker. Like that's it.
A company man.
They could have also had Roman come out at the Chamber and ruin it for other people so that they didn't look so weak.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I want Brock, so I'm gonna shenanigans.
That was the problem. It was like it was Brock won at the main event scene's expense.
Mm-hmm.
But like why here's the thing. Like it also doesn't make sense. Like why did Roman help Brock lose the title at Royal Rumble and then not in this thing?
Yeah.
Why?
He was there. He was there.
He was there.
He was eating something.
He should be like, or at least tie it in going like, oh no, I don't want him to have the title for some reason. But I think they realized after the Rumble, they're like, this makes no goddamn sense.
And like I know I get the appeal of having champion versus champion, winner takes all, that whole thing, I guess. But they should have just given the belt to one of the other guys. Have Roman come out, ruin it for Brock, more heat on Roman, so that their Mania match can be huge.
Totally.
And then have somebody else get the belt, you know, like AJ or something, because he's getting a push.
Yeah.
But no.
That's the problem. If they actually unify them, it's gonna be a big problem because you can't. If they only had, I know that everyone's like one world title would be better, and it's like I don't think that that's gonna fix. The reason they have 2 world titles in WWE is because you need
Brock has one.
You need
and another guy has the other.
You need to distract Vince with one of the belts. Like, no, this is the more important one, I guess, for some reason. And your guy can have it. If we didn't have 2 world titles since like 1998, like the only champions would be Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Triple H, Brock Lesnar, John Cena. And now Roman. Like there would be 5 world champions. CM Punk, like, would not be world champion. Have never been world champion in like WWE. It would be the worst.
I can see the financial aspect of this. It's a you know that the shirt with Roman holding both belts like this is going to sell out like crazy.
Right.
You know that having Roman, who is currently the one who's making the most money for the company, on both shows, on paper that makes sense. They're like, well, now we're going to make money on both shows, you know?
Right.
So I get it as a choice for money reasons. But it's also going to be oversaturation, I think. Having Roman at every show is going to be a problem.
And you're just
I doubt that it even gets to that point though. Like it'll be temporary. Yeah, he'll be like, I don't even want this one. They'll do some kind of bullshit explanation. But that's like there's always going to be a lesser champion, a lesser championship as well. And that's my issue with the dual world champions.
Yeah.
Like the mid-card belts mean nothing.
Right.
They're dead. Kill them. Well, and make the secondary world champion the mid-card belt.
Johnny Knoxville is going to have an Intercontinental Championship match at Mania.
He's going to be as the same accolades as Roddy Piper.
Yeah.
Johnny Knoxville.
But let me ask you then. So which belt means more to you, the Universal or the
It's the
WWE one?
Universal. It's the Universal. They've
I go for the other one because it's the
I
one
feel
with the
like
most lineage, I think.
they're the same at this point though. You know, like they're kind of like two halves of one belt. And I think Roman having the historic reign on SmackDown, the bigger show, means it's the bigger belt.
I think
That's
it's
fair.
I think it's literally like they both mean the exact. It's the belt. Whoever is the more important superstar, like the person makes the belt. Like at at WrestleMania 35, like Seth won the Rumble and he beat Brock to win the Universal title. But the more important belt that night was WWE. It was Daniel Bryan and it was Kofi. That's the match everyone talked about. So at that point, that's the more important belt. It's Roman has the Universal title right now because they really want to get that thing over
Yeah.
as an important thing. So right now, that's what it is. But the belts look the fucking same, and it's whatever
That's a fucking mistake. It's such
that
a
they look
mistake.
the same. I agree.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
insane. Like what is there to what's the point?
I don't know.
It's the logo with a border on it. It's the company's logo with a fucking border on it.
Yeah,
Well,
bring
the
back the
point is,
winged eagle.
Winged eagle, big gold, do something else.
is like, did you see the photo of at like the Super Bowl? Like one of the guys at the Super Bowl has a big WWE
They
title.
have one ready for whatever team's gonna win at this point.
Yeah, they give it to him, and so you just see WWE
That's it.
associated with it. It's
It's a
branding.
marketing stunt.
It's
Yeah.
it's just branding. That's why the belt is Velcro now. They don't give a
Is
shit.
it Velcro?
It's
Yeah.
Velcro. The buttons do not.
Their buttons
The
are still
buttons-
on there, but they don't work.
They don't work. It's Velcro, dude.
Yeah.
God.
It's
Much
really
like my
embarrassing.
wallet.
But I think
Unbelievable.
you need 2 world titles in this company because there's just not there's too many people and you have the 2 shows. There would be just people floundering. It would be a mess. Apparently it was a mess when they tried to make one after WrestleMania 30. It was really hard. So they brought it. That's why they
Yeah,
brought it.
I remembered thinking like they should bring back dual world champions. But then they made them the same belt and it just doesn't work. It'll never work.
It doesn't work. It doesn't actually matter. Like they again, I don't think that I don't think that there is a if they're booking the belts to be the same amount of prestige, it's really just whoever has the belt, whoever is the most famous and has a belt, like that belt is more important because of that.
I
I don't
think
think it
I think
actually matters.
SmackDown now kind of is where the big belt is because of the Fox money,
Mhm.
because of the ratings. It's just the bigger show. So
Of
they're
course.
Because
But
of the
in 2020, when
Because of the
Drew
revenue.
when Drew beat Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship, it was the more important belt.
For sure.
Braun Strowman with the Universal title.
Yeah,
did not do
that
shit.
meant nothing.
Yeah.
We only got a few minutes left, so let's talk Cody. What
What do you think, Eddie?
Cody,
What do you think about it? The whole thing.
I mean, I get it. Yeah, I watched Roads to the Top. He seemed burned out. He seemed tired. Didn't want to be in the ring. And a bigger paycheck makes sense for him. He's he wants to make money.
you think he's just going to WWE?
Yeah, I would if I were him. If they're offering me that big ass paycheck to just go and make do a few matches over there, sure.
Oh man.
I don't think it's a work. I mean, if it were a
No,
work,
it's not a work. It's not a work.
No, it'll work.
yeah.
But
Do you think
it's
it's
just
good?
morally insane thing to do.
Well, it's morally insane. I think it'll create a pop, and I think that's what Vince cares about. It's like he wants a pop, and he wants that flag to wave of like, haha, I took one of your guys.
We got one.
Yeah.
I think it's a lose-lose. Like whatever happens, it doesn't. There's no. It actually, I weirdly think this only benefits AEW.
AEW, totally.
I think that what happens is that if you bring Cody over there, what you're doing if they push him and they're just like if he comes out after like WrestleMania and he like defeats Roman to win the WWE championship like the next night on
It
Raw or
just meant
whatever,
like,
get like
hell, all these dope guys were over at
are
AEW,
over it
and now
like
one of them's here, and he
like
kicked our star's ass.
yeah, they book him strong. You're acknowledging that AEW is competition. If you like if they bring him in and squash him, like I mean,
Nobody's ever coming again.
no one's ever coming.
I
Like,
just I think it's like I could see him genuinely being retired from wrestling, and like this is his weird way of doing it. And if that's the case, ultimate respect. He didn't do the goodbye tour. He didn't actually leave and have like this is my last match and do the breakup reunion band type thing.
mhm.
If he goes to WWE, uh, the fact that people call him like the face, he can never be looked at as the face of any kind of revolution ever again.
No.
Because in no revolution did a leader of the revolution at the peak of the revolution be like, I'm actually gonna do the opposite of this thing that we're doing. So I'll
Yeah.
see you guys later. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah,
It's
I was trying to come up with a good program for him, and I mean, the Miz makes sense because of the reality shows and all that.
But just think about that. Think about
Yeah.
what he's like, yeah, I'll walk away from like this thing that I was in from the ground up, like to feud with the Miz.
The only way that this works is if they're honest about it, which they're not. They never are. But if Cody comes out, he's like, I started AEW. Look at the success that it became, and now I'm here to revolutionize WWE. Like, but that's not going to happen.
It's extra hypocritical because like did you guys listen to the Kenny Omega interview with the Wrestling
No.
Observer?
No.
He's like he's very honest where he's like Cody was the guy who like the us versus them mentality, like that was all him.
Yep.
So it's like he kind of makes the least sense to be jumping ship.
Yeah.
For sure. I also think just in general, like I think in general, most of the elite take too much credit for like AEW. Like, dude, it's just it happened because of Kenny. Like, it's all Kenny. You guys have great business minds, and the Bucks are great, but I didn't fucking watch a Bucks match until AEW started. Like, everybody paid attention because of Wrestle
It
Kingdom
was
11.
yeah, it was
It's
a
all
bullet club
from
domino effect that and where that had peaks and valleys. The big peaks were
and
Kenny Jericho, Kenny Okada.
yeah,
I would say Jericho even more.
Jericho was like,
Jericho's the
oh,
reason.
this is possible, and then
Yeah.
all in was the
but
one.
Jericho doesn't say that if Kenny doesn't if the I literally saw people like that I did not know watch like I had friends writing like long posts that I didn't know watched wrestling about how incredible like Okada and Kenny Omega was. And we have never I was like we've been friends for 10 years and I did not know you watched wrestling and I've never watched Japanese wrestling in my life. That's why Jericho goes there. That's why all of this happened. It is like Jericho's decision to do that is that, but it's of those guys, it's because of Kenny. And he's the only one who doesn't talk about
The
it.
thing, but the all in
Doesn't
thing,
talk about it.
the all in was a big part of it, and that was like half Cody, straight up.
Right, but it's business.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm saying the business mind of it, but when these guys are talking about they're like we create like we evenly are the
No,
reason
yeah.
that all this
And
happened. I'm like,
even Cody leaving WWE and having those things to do was like because the Bucks and Kenny were so hot.
right.
Mhm.
He was like, "Oh, I can leave and just work with these guys. They're doing cool stuff."
Yeah, he just joined up with it, which is fine. You need business minded people, but he drank a lot of Kool-Aid. Like this is a very short amount of time for all of this to have happened.
Straight
Like
up, man. It's
pretty
shocking.
crazy.
And having the guy has 2 other shows on the networks.
Mhm.
Not
Roads to the Top, and what was the other one?
The
The
Go
Big
Big
Show, right?
Show.
The Big
Yeah.
Show, yeah.
he's not gonna be on Go Big Show.
Is Paul White gonna replace him?
Dude, I don't know, but they don't have Snoop Dogg anymore. Like it's
Oh,
T-Pain
that's
now.
true.
They don't give a shit.
That's sick though.
Yeah.
I love T-Pain. I would love to watch T-Pain.
Did you? I like when T-Pain like last year was like, "Yo, I thought I fell off, but I just didn't see this whole folder in my Instagram DMs," and it was like Diddy, Megan Thee Stallion, like all these people messaging him to make songs with him.
That's
good
so fucking funny.
And then he had like 5 features come out like 2 weeks later. Well, we have some extra time because I think
Yeah, no one's coming after us.
Yeah.
But Eddie, what do you? I don't know. What do you? Were you ever a Cody guy?
Yeah, so it's interesting. I became a Cody guy when he went and started doing Bullet Club stuff. I'm a
Yeah.
big Bullet Club guy. Even to this day, I love Jay White. I love everything that's going on. I watched that Impact Good Brothers versus God was fantastic. If anybody's watching, hasn't seen that, go watch that. So I kind of became a Cody fan during the Bullet Club time, and it also goes hand in hand with me actually meeting him. Went out to they did that invasion angle where they were going to invade Raw over in Ontario, I believe, in California. I went out there and it was so funny. I just went out there because I saw the tweet like we're going to be at Hot Topic, and
I was gonna say it was like a Hot Topic event where they
Yeah.
were invading Raw.
So I show up and there's this huge line of people waiting for the autographs or whatever. And I just walked straight into Hot Topic and everybody was there. And I'm like, hey, what's up, guys? Nice to meet you, whatever. And then Cody grabs me. He's like, you want to be in the Bullet Club? I'm like, yeah. He's like, here, put this on. Put the shirt on. And he's like, all right, follow us. And if you watch that BTE, I'm standing with the Bucks and Hangman Adam Page and Cody as a member of the Bullet
That
Club.
honks. That's great.
Just walking out with them during that march that they did.
That's
so
awesome.
because of that, obviously, I'm a fan.
Yeah, that's a personal experience. So
that's a personal
very
thing.
cool.
Yeah. But
at that
he's
time,
all
I
right.
was fully sold. It was
Yeah.
like, yeah, this rocks. This guy's the shit.
I thought he was. I was. My like wrestling like watch gang hated Cody, and I was like the only one who was like, guys, he's got a lot of charisma, and I think he's fun. I think he's gonna be really good, and he was for like 5 months. After that,
I mean, I even liked his, very passionate promos that he did recently too. I mean, I like Cody. I think he's good. I think work wise, like wrestling work wise, he's in the middle. Like he's okay. He does
He
solid
can turn
work.
it on.
can
That's
turn it on.
that's my main thing with him is I'll always be like, fucking Cody match, come on. And then it ends and I'm like, damn it.
That was solid.
God, he's got something, that asshole.
Yeah, he's got that, like, you know what it is he's got that thing that like makes it okay that his moveset is just like a leg drop or whatever, like he's got that extra factor that makes him so compelling to watch. I wasn't into the like end of whatever happened, like when the crowd turned on him and he like didn't want to turn heel and he just kind of did a lot of fourth wall breaking.
Yeah, everybody wants me to be a heel now.
Don't say, dude, you literally you pointed at the set in the middle of the theater and were like, that's made of cardboard. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Heels, you can't say heel.
He even made a shirt out of it. He had the shirt. It said babyface, heel, or what was it? Winner was the third option.
Oh my god.
I think that sucks. I think you can't do that, especially if you are the boss.
Yeah.
Like if you're it's fun when like you see someone who like is challenging the system, breaking the fourth wall, because you're like, oh, they're gonna break like what's gonna happen? Are they gonna change something? Are they gonna fire him for breaking the fourth wall? But if it's the boss just going out, just being like, stop telling me to be a bad guy, I don't want to.
Well, think about it though. Doesn't this whole thing play out? He did the thing. He's breaking the fourth wall, and then he left, and now he may go to WWE. So I mean, it could still play out.
But what
And
to
to what?
to him only, like to
I don't.
nobody's satisfaction, you know?
Well, like I said, if they do it to where it's a legit, like, I'm Cody Rhodes from AEW
Mhm.
here in WWE now to cause ruckus, and who knows, Kenny might jump ship too. And if Kenny jumps ship with Cody to WWE for, even if it's for a little bit of time, then it all makes sense. But
It's
I don't
not
know.
gonna
Why?
happen.
But
It's not gonna happen.
why? Why?
Well, shake it up.
So crazy. They did it. It's like that's their thing. Whatever happens, I think Keith David is gonna narrate an amazing 3-part docu-series about it someday
I think
on
Jericho's for
Discovery Now.
sure. Jericho for sure is going back at some point. He's
Oh
ending
yeah.
his career at WWE.
Yeah, and that's fine. Like he's earned the right to do that. He's a careerman there.
He knows dude. There's a lot of things you can say about Jericho, but he knows he's the he's the opposite of Cody. Like when he reads the room and goes like, okay, and he leans
Dude,
into
every time it's
every
crazy.
time. He will never get stale because he does that. He pays
Yep.
like even now, he felt it and was like, all right, I'm a bad guy, and also my abs look fantastic now. What are
He
you
does
gonna
look looking good.
do? Like,
Yeah, I think I don't think it's a work, but I genuinely do think that he could just not be a wrestler anymore, and he could just be planning other shit.
Well, he wanted to be a politician. I know that much. He
Fucking
said it on
hell.
Roads to the Top. He wants to quit wrestling and just be a politician. But I think he kind of
why?
killed that dream when he got that
What
huge
kind?
ugly
Like
ass
a
neck tattoo.
He
like a
literally
city
has
councilor?
only
Or?
he has only a job killer. That's his only tattoo is a job killer.
Well, he's got the dream on the chest, but yeah, it's a
I
job
forgot that. Yeah,
What is he?
you can't start with the neck. There are
especially as a
rules.
politician.
I know.
Like, no one's gonna like take you seriously with that thing on your neck unless he goes full heel Republican, because it's the American flag, so he could just play
Mm.
that off. But yeah, I don't know.
He's doing like a Connor Roy type gimmick. That's his next.
Oh, God.
All right.
Speaking of the bloodline,
Yeah, exactly.
it fucked me up when I started watching Succession, and I was like, "Oh, this is the whole thing."
It's WWE.
Roman
Yeah.
thing. He watched that show and was like, "I'm gonna do this." Also, just to be like this HBO theme song is my entrance music now is
Yeah.
hilarious. That's
It's
crazy.
literally just the same thing, but with the Shield, like with one part of the Shield riff played in it.
Yeah, very funny.
It's pretty good.
So funny.
Well, it's that's the end of our show here today. That was a very fun time.
Yeah.
I don't know where we ended off on the Cody thing. I guess if he's retired, good luck to him. If he goes to WWE, he's a coward.
Yeah.
Ew.
Eddie, do
Yes.
you want to talk a little bit about your Knotfest show? You got a Knotfest show coming up.
Well, no, I have a Knotfest beer pit box. It's available right now. You can go to knotfestbeerpit.com, order yourself a box of beer. They're all carefully selected by me. This is one of them. The Deftones Good Morning Beautiful Brown Ale. There's beers that you can't get. I made it so that there's beers from the East Coast that you can't get on the West Coast and vice versa. So everybody can have a little bit of everything that I love. But it's cheaper than beer at a venue. And it's part of Knotfest, so please support. And if it does well, they'll give me an opportunity to do more.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah,
We want that. So buy his beer so that so we can get a soda line. I need a soda line.
Yeah, I want a seltzer line. He needs a soda line.
I need a diet soda collection.
Yeah. We need to get Colin sponsored by Mountain Dew Zero with Sparks.
That's what I'm
Nice.
talking about. Now you're speaking my language.
Have you
All
tried
right.
that one yet?
With Sparks? No, I haven't been able to find it.
Zero with Spark with the pink thing.
No, I've been looking though.
You're gonna find it. You probably let me know. You let me know.
Oh, I will.
All right,
All right,
Tyler.
y'all. That was very fun. We'll see you guys next Monday. We're gonna be doing Instagram stuff on Wednesdays now.
Yes,
after.
on Wednesdays we are going to be recapping AEW Dynamite immediately after it ends at 10 p.m. So you can get our initial reactions. It'll just be Colin and I hanging out for 20 minutes after AEW Dynamite.
Nice.
And probably also we'll do that after pay-per-views and stuff. We'll let you know.
For sure.
Nice. One final plug, can I? Just
Yeah,
Please.
plug away.
make sure
The
to check
floor
out
is
the
yours.
Comedy Store Wrestling Show on the Comedy Store's official YouTube channel. This is all. I really appreciate you guys having me on because wrestling business promotions hate each other, but in this case, it's all love. It's all one family. So come check out the Comedy Store Wrestling Show on the Comedy Store Network on YouTube, and follow me at RRBG Podcast. That's it.
Hell yeah! I'm literally gonna watch the Comedy Store.
Yeah, I gotta see it. We're setting up what's like an antonym for forbidden?
The Forbidden Door.
Yeah, what's like the opposite of that? Like a very open door is like that's our policy in terms of like
Yes.
wrestling shows. Our door, it's a very open door.
Welcoming
So,
door. The welcoming door.
we have blown our forbidden door off the hinges.
Yes.
Oh,
So it's a walkway.
forbidden.
A welcoming walkway.
I like it. Done. And on that note, Holly, that's the end of the show. So thank you guys so much.
Bye.